This is Louis Verietto. I'm part of the Handy Senior group here in Beaconsfield, and today we're going to be building a table for a table saw that will put the table at the same level as this workbench. In front of you are some of the tools that I'll be using today, and as I use them I'll explain what they are and how to use them at least once. So the purpose of today's project is to put this table saw, where this tabletop is at the same level as the workbench. As you can see, this is quite high, and if the pieces are long, the wood pieces are long, it can be very hard to manage. But by putting this down at the same level, I can leverage the tabletop to stabilize the longer pieces of wood or the wider pieces of wood. And so that's the purpose. The dolly is 24 inches by 24, more or less. So we're going to basically build a table or a frame on top of this dolly that leverages its size with the intention to fit against the side of the workbench. The side of the workbench is 30 inches. The size of the table is 24, a difference of 6 inches. But if you put a frame up against the side, that's 3 inches on each side. That's already, 1.5 inches on each side, a total of 3. And if you put the legs further up, that's another 3 inches, making this table match exactly the width of the legs on the workbench. We start off by cutting 2 pieces of plywood to 24 inches. That's a little bit larger than the table, and 2 pieces at 27 inches. So that's 3 inches larger, because these will fit on the end, on both ends, making the outer frame 3 inches bigger than the inner frame. So the inner frame is 24 inches, the outer frame is 27 inches. So let's get started. All right, so today we're going to use the Craig pocket hole jig. It's set up that it supports 3 different thicknesses of wood. We're going to set it to 1.5 inches, which is the size of a 2x4. It's really 3.5 by 1.5 inches. We want to place it more or less in the middle with equal space on both sides. Gives the maximum strength. You need a clamp. You need this attachment that comes with the kit. It fits in the middle like so. It's a little rubber piece. You get it more or less in the middle, and then you clamp it in place. You then take the drill bit with an impact drill. That's an impact drill fixture. There we go. And you put it into the hole. So next we'll handle the legs. I have some of the legs already built to give you an idea of what our target is. So the legs are 2 pieces of plywood screwed together with pocket holes on either side. You can see that there are lines drawn on the wood. That is to illustrate, let's see, here we go. That is to illustrate where the frame is going to go. So basically, the frames are going to cover the pocket holes. So all you're going to see is exposed wood and no holes behind it. No holes will be exposed. So the frame will go there when we're ready to put it into place. And the pocket holes, I drilled the pocket holes inside the lines so that they're not visible. So I'll show you how I built this, but the idea is for this long side to cover the seam like so. And so by doing this, we added 3 inches with the frame, and we added another 3 inches with the legs, getting our 24-inch frame of the dolly to match the 30-inch width of the legs, so that these will line up when we try and clip it. When we try and clip it later, you want these legs to be at the same size as the legs for the table, the workbench table. So how did I put these together? Let me show you. Okay, so here we have a miter saw, and we're going to hook it up to the shop vac using a coupler. Just insert that in there manually. Shop vac is ready to go. this is ready to go. So what's next? What's next is, here is the marking that I marked all the legs when I assembled it. This is leg number 2, which means I'm gluing it to this part of the other piece. So I'm gluing it on top like this. That's where I want to end up. And put it up against the tabletop. This is where the glue will go, below this. So in addition, I now need two screws to go in to this piece in order to hold it in place. And I want those pieces to be hidden by the frame. So this is mimicking the frame. The frame would be here, and I'm just marking off where the screws have to be on the inside of that line. Similarly, on this side. Okay, here we're going to secure this leg piece in place, and we're going to put one pocket hole on each side of the line, on the inside of each line, so that it will screw into the other part of the leg, but also be hidden by the frame once we put it in place. So this comes across the same place, the same way as before, but now what we're trying to do is line up the hole to be just on the inside of that line. Here it's ready. We'll change the bit to be the drill bit, and we're drilling one hole close to the line for the pocket screw. Hole number 1. And hole number 2 has to be done in the same direction but on the opposite side. With the two holes done, now one on either side of their respective lines, we're ready to manually insert the screw and get it ready to go into the other part of the leg. Okay, so once that's ready, you've already marked the location where you want to put the glue, because it's the same width as the 2x4, 1.5 inches. So we add some glue, and then we just put the two pieces together. And now we want to make sure that it stays together while we are drilling. So we use our clamps again on both sides. And if there's a small adjustment that's needed, the old forced approach works just fine. When both sides feel like they're about even, you want to tap it, make sure everything is straight. You want to switch the drill bit for the Robertson screw head. That should be nice and straight. Take your cloth, wipe off the excessive amount of glue. Perfect. Now we go to assembling the legs.